Alright, you guys, I'm going to walk you through how I do a ribbon stack. I'm going to be doing a 6-ply ribbon stack, but the way I prep a 6-ply ribbon stack and the way I prep a 12-ply ribbon stack is the same way. The only thing you'll really need is some kind of needle noses. I like these needle noses. I got them from Home Depot. They're a Crescent brand. And then I have these antique Asian scissors. Look at these scissors, okay? And that's to cut the ribbon and the wire. I have 40 gauge just to bind up my ribbon, and I have 0.3 ribbon I'll be working with today because I'm doing a build with 0.3 ribbon. So I want to do a 6-ply 0.3 ribbon, and eventually I'm going to be staggering this, putting a loop on it, staggering it, and I need this to be prepped very, very good, very nicely and tight. So what we're going to do is, if I want a coil or a wire that is 8 inches at the end, then you need to prep at least 16, but I go a little bigger just to leave room for wrapping onto the swivel and everything. So I'm going to go about 18 to 20 inches on 3 pieces of ribbon here, and then once we fold them in half, we'll have 6. So I'll grab this and pull it off of the spool like this and see if it's straight. It is pretty straight. It's probably better if it's not straight to just give it a little stretch, a little tug. But if you do this to one of the wires, you have to do it to all of them. So I just gave that one a little tug to make it straighter. But now I have to do it to all of them because it does change the size a little bit. So I'm going to do a second one. Now, what I should have did before I did this is get my 40 gauge out for the wrapping. So what I want to do, we're done with this 0.3 now. What I want to do with the 40 gauge is I want to get about 8 inches of it off. And just cut that with scissors, right there. Now I'm going to make sure all my ribbons are the same size. So I'm going to grab them by this end. Right here. Grab them by this end, all 3. Right. I'm going to run my fingers down until I hit the end of the first ribbon, basically. I'm going to cut them all the same size and cut all the bends out of it and everything. And I'm going to take both ends like this. Bring them together. Then I'm going to find the center. And pull my hands away from each other. And that's going to put a kink right in the center here. You want to be gentle, but you could pull on it a little bit to get that kink in there. Good. So now I want to stack these 3 ribbon. Like moving boulders just to get out of the home, it sucks. I've had enough. I don't want to feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove. I got nightmares in my head, I fear. And then wrap it with the 40 gauge once I have them all stacked nicely. I'm going to wrap this around 10 times. Cut that loose. Thoughts build up until I can't hear. That my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Alright, now to get my wires all together, a nice little tip is to use water. See how they're not like staying together and they're kind of going off different angles. First I can kind of straighten that out by doing that, and then stay away from each other. But I also have this water squonk. Now just look up Menda on Google and you'll find this. This is a Menda pump. Just look up Menda pump. Alright? What this is, it has water in it. And I go like this, and it brings some water out. So I can either do this, or I could do this. Put some water on that. And then when I run my fingers down this with the water, it's going to turn more into one piece of wire. It's going to stick together for a little bit, see? Now they're all together. And they'll stay together flat because that's how they're together with the water, is on the flat side. So now, I'm going to run my fingers down a little bit, and you can see that the ribbon stack is good from this wrap to my fingers. So I'm going to put a wrap right there where I know my ribbon stack is good, right near my fingers. So about 3/4 of an inch down I do this. I wrap it about 8 times, and then I can pinch that and slide it all the way down to the end. When I get to the end, wrap like this. A couple more times, nice and tight. And now I know all the ribbons are stacked the same way all the way down, no twists or nothing, because I just wrote it down with my fingers and I locked it in down here. Now for extra strength, if you really need it, you could hot glue this. Now, you don't always have to hot glue stuff, but if you're just learning these and you're having a hard time with the ribbon staying still, or maybe you are staggering like I am, I like to hot glue them. So I have a hot glue stand here, because I use hot glue quite a bit. I'm going to light this hot glue stick. I'm going to dab it right on top of the 40 gauge I have there. Even if it's not completely wet, I get it on there, and then I can melt it again by doing that. Don't let it on fire, it'll just melt away. Now, if you want to do this to both ends, I suggest putting this end on a swivel. Put that end on a swivel. And then you can pull your ribbons tight again. Alright. So put the swivel there. And I hook this end to the swivel. And then I run my fingers down. Make sure they're all the same tightness. Then I could heat my hot glue again. And hot glue right on that. Heat it up. And just make sure they're all tight and even. I like to hold it with these lightly. You don't want to mess them up. I'm just pulling them all tight with my needle noses. I can let go of this now. As the hot glue dries, it should stay all one straight wire. So I just want to hold this until it dries. It should be good. Cut this little excess off. And that's a 6-ply ribbon stack right there. That's pretty much it.